So today we're going to talk you through 3 of the biggest lies the fitness industry is telling you, which I've discovered in the last 6 months and completely changed my physique, built more muscle, burnt more body fat, and actually got it to fit way easier around my routine. And I'm going to break down what these 3 things are right now and how you can implement them into your own routine to build more muscle, burn more body fat, but also make the whole process simpler. And I'm also at the end of this video going to explain what has been ruining my fat loss the last 2 weeks and a big mistake a lot of people are making. Now, the first big lie that we're going to talk about in the fitness industry is that training fasted will mean you lose muscle. And I'll repeat that again. Training fasted will make sure you lose muscle. The reality is this is complete bullshit. So I was always paranoid up in the entire 34 years I've been alive that if I did weight training and I hadn't eaten a pre-workout meal before, I was going to get skinny. I am currently 101 kilos and have abs and train fasted. So that is a complete lie. And the reality is, in terms of what I do now versus what I used to do, is very, very simple. I wake up, I have maybe 2 coffees, I drink loads of fluids, I work for 2 hours maybe, I then have a pre-workout drink, some caffeine. Actually, I mix 2 pre-workouts. I have a pre-workout drink with caffeine, a pre-workout drink which is like a pump formula. I then go to the gym, I then start training, I then have my intra-workout shake, which has 20 grams of cyclodextrin for carbohydrates, 20 grams of glutamine for gut health and recovery, 20 to 30 grams of essential amino acids, 10 grams of creatine, which improves performance. And this is essentially like a pre-digested meal that I start to take in whilst training. So this allows me to maintain my performance, but then also stops me going catabolic. Now, why this is working so well for me is that previously when I would go and train, I'd feel very bloated before. Now when I go and train, I don't feel bloated. My stomach feels clear, feels like all the blood can go straight into the muscle and I feel great. And also like the pre-workout supplements and drinks I'm having going straight into my system super quickly. Now, what we have to think about is that your body is not going to completely deplete yourself of glycogen because you didn't have one meal in the morning before you train. The reality is you're actually going to have eaten the night before you go to bed, ideally have some carbohydrates in that, which I tend to have one of my biggest meals in the evening. So I have carbohydrates that replenish my body with glycogen overnight. This then means that when my muscles are full of glycogen when I come and train in the morning, and then all I have to do in the morning is hydrate myself. So I drink fluids, have some electrolytes in them, and we're ready to rock and roll. Now, why this works so well also from a fat loss perspective is that I don't end up eating my first meal to 11:30, 12 o'clock. So if I'm trying to eat maybe say 2,500, 3,000 calories and lose weight, if I'm not eating till 12, that means I've got a 7-hour window to eat 3,000 calories, which inherently means I need less meals, but I can have slightly bigger ones, which makes it easier for me to more stick to my diet, rather than having like rabbit food sittings multiple times throughout the day, which might be what the bro science bodybuilders tell you. The reality is not necessarily the most optimal way to do that. So this has allowed me to have bigger meals and enjoy my food more, rather than just eating for the sake of eating first thing in the morning, which was what I was often doing. Now, the second big lie I want to talk about in the fitness industry is you can't do cardio around your weights. So I used to get up stupidly early when I was in a fat loss phase because I have to do my cardio. I need to get 45, 60 minutes of that done. Then I need to eat. Then I need to go and train. And it was a complete mess. So my sleep would be impaired because I was getting up early to do cardio. I then wouldn't do any work first thing in the morning. I then force a meal in that I didn't really want to eat. I then go to the gym and be pretty bloated, and that would affect my training session. And then I also wouldn't have as many calories left for the rest of the day because I'd already eaten. So this is what I've done the last 6 months and what I would suggest you do now, which has really allowed me to get more work done, feel less stressed, and actually perform at a high level and just do everything in one block. So I go to the gym. I then do 10 to 20 minutes cardio to warm up. I then do my weight training session. I then do the remainder of my cardio afterwards. Very, very simple. And it has had a huge effect in terms of making my day simple. I almost have like a training block. This is my workout window for like 2 hours. And then that's it. Whereas before I'd be like, I need to do cardio, then I need to eat, and then I'm trying to do a little bit of work, and I'm going to work out. And it was just a shit show. So this allowed me to be a lot more effective in terms of my time, but also allowed me to get better results because my training was better, because I wasn't fatigued from the cardio, and I wasn't like depleted from having like been getting dehydrated from doing loads of cardio. I wasn't bloated because I'd forced a meal in and then tried to train. So this is how this can really simply synchronistically fit around your routine, in particular if you're an entrepreneur. Because if you're an entrepreneur watching this, one of the best times you can get the most work done is when you first wake up, which is why I don't want to eat. I want to be focused. I want to get the important shit done. Then I want to go train, and then I want to come back and do more work. That's it. So this is where this fits my lifestyle very, very well. And if you haven't tried this, I'd implore you to try those two things. And then thirdly, that the bro bodybuilding split doesn't work. The two biggest body parts I need to focus on were arms and shoulders. My arms have always been lagging, and my legs and back have been very good because I did the traditional British bodybuilding thing of training push-pull legs. So I trained a lot of frequency on that. And what happened? My arms got neglected. Tagging your biceps on before your leg day or on the back of your arm day or back of your back day is not going to do fuck all. Same as tagging triceps at the end of the chest. You need to give your arms a separate day if you want them to improve. And I would say this, you will never see someone with a great physique who has terrible arms. Your arms are one of the most things people look at first. So it makes sense that you try and really prioritize those and try and develop them. So the split, which I found works best for me now, also from a recovery standpoint, is actually only training everything once a week. There's a little bit of a crossover, I will explain. Like if I try and train legs every 5 days, I don't really enjoy it, but then I also find that my recovery isn't fully maxed, so I can't train as hard, so I actually get less results. So what I do now is I train on a Monday, I'll train arms, and I train arms on a Monday because it's the easiest to train, but has the least stress on my nervous system on my most stressful workday. On Tuesday, I will do shoulders. On Wednesday, I will rest. On Thursday, I'll do like a push day, so it'll be chest, maybe shoulder exercise, maybe a tricep exercise. Friday, I will do back, so it'll be just lats, like a pull down, row variations, bicep exercise, rear delts, and then Saturday, do legs. Now, I'm excited to do legs on Saturday because I haven't trained them all week. I can go balls to the wall crazy because I also know I don't have really any work to do later in the day. So if I cripple myself, I'm not concerned I'm going to sit on Zoom for 6 hours and be like having a fit. And I also know that weekend, if I'm hammering legs on Saturday, I can probably get away with eating a little bit extra food then, which is probably when I'm going to want to do it. So this is where you have to make your training split fit around your lifestyle and make your weight sessions fit around your lifestyle, and also not spend 4 hours in the gym. Because the way I'm training now, it takes me 45 to 60 minutes, hammer myself, very, very effective. I don't actually log the weights I'm using. It's super, super carefree. I'm very, very intuitive with what I do, but I'm getting the best results I've ever have by doing the least. And this is why you have to understand that like there's going to be exercises that are more optimal than others, and there's going to be splits that are more optimal than others. But the most optimal thing you can do is to split an exercise you enjoy doing, you can do really well, and actually puts a smile on your face. If it does those three things and you do it consistently, you'll get great results. And I talked about this a lot in the podcast with Dorian Yates, which is about to come out, in terms of how actually whether the best technical exercise is the best for you or the one where you can actually just max the intensity out. And chances are the things you're going to max the intensity out on are the things you enjoy. So my take-home advice for you from the three things today is, 1, you can train fasted, you won't lose muscle. 2, you can do cardio around weights. I just wouldn't do all of it. So I wouldn't do 45, 50 minutes before training and then lift weights because that's going to have a bit of an effect on performance. And thirdly, the bro bodybuilding splits do work, providing you work and you train hard. If you took some value from this and you want to see us posting more content and podcasts coming forwards, make sure you take a screenshot of this, share it to my stories, share it to your Instagram stories. I will repost it. The next episode we'll have coming up is the supplement hacks and secret peptides and other formulas I've taken the last 6 months that have made me smarter, leaner and stronger. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. And we'll see you next episode very, very soon at The Shredder Show.